right now we're talking about going to be the new football coach. Some names surfacing here and there. A lot of people throwing names around. I'm not sure I'm buying much of any of it, but that's all right. It's people's job. Do things like that. Matt Campbell's a name that has come up. The Iowa State head man, been there since 2016. What does that do to you?
It doesn't make me, jump in my chair and, want to do jumping jacks and splits and all that stuff. But, I think he's doing an okay job. I don't know. I think there's some guys out there that I think are a little more, proven. Obviously, he's won some Coaches of the Year in the Big 12, and he's done some good things. And he's, had some quarterbacks, who've had some success there. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the first name that just jumps off my seat and makes me, want to do a cartwheel. And obviously, his record as a head coach, 41-33, not something to, really, go home on and tell mom about. But it's okay. Well, how do you feel about him?
So he is unequivocally the best coach in the history of Iowa State football. No, that's that's not exactly an earth-shattering achievement. But Ames is a very tough spot to win. It's boring. There's no talent around it. There's no history. Your little brother in the state. It's just not an easy place to go win. And since he took over in 2016, they won 32 games over the next 4 years, which is the most in a 4-year stretch in the history of the school. He's been the Big 12 Coach of the Year 3 times, 17, 18, 20, and 20. They've gotten to the Big 12 championship game. They got to a New Year's Six Bowl. That had never happened at Iowa State. So he's piloted the best run in that place, which hasn't seen very many good runs. So he's proven to be able to do that. I think there's a difference between being a solid coach in a tough spot and being a championship coach in an elite spot. I don't know what happens if Pat Fitzgerald takes another job, if he takes the Georgia job or the Texas job or the USC job. I don't think he's going to. He's very happy at Northwestern. But he's at a place where if you go 8-4, you've won. You've succeeded. And there's just a difference to me in that and winning championships and not ever having – you can have a bad week. You can have 2 bad weeks at Northwestern or at Iowa State, and no one really notices if you have really good weeks. That's not the case when you come to an elite place. So I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm saying it doesn't really fire me up.
Yeah. I think I do the same assessment, and I think I did this, especially after I got in the NFL. And I saw it with quarterbacks, and you got to point to the highest because that's where you want to get to. You want to get to the top of the mountain. And so for me, I look at it as like, okay, do I trust my quarterback to go into Kansas City and win a football game? Do I trust my quarterback to go into New England when Tom was playing there and win a football game? If you feel like that guy isn't good enough to go in there and battle, then you probably shouldn't go with that guy. And I feel the same way with this coaching search. Do I trust this guy year in and year out to be able to out-recruit Nick Saban, go into Bryant Denny, win football games, continue to make Texas A&M your little brother and beat them up every year? And obviously you're going to have to probably play Kirby in the SEC championship. Can you handle that? Can you do all those things? And if that's a question that you have no ifs, ands, or buts about, and you know that this guy can be the guy to do that year in and year out, then hey, then I would love to have him as the LSU football coach. But for Matt Campbell, I don't know if I could go there quite yet. So there's some other names out there that I would probably feel a little better about. But for Matt, I think if they do go that route, I think there'd be some people saying no first for LSU sends out that type of money to a guy like Matt Campbell.
In terms of wins and losses, he's been pretty good. At Toledo, after when he took over, 9-4, 7-5, 9-4, 9-2. He takes over to Iowa State. The first team went 3-9 in transition year. Then he goes 8-5, 8-5, 7-6, 9-3. So consistency is certainly there. He gave an answer in a press conference last week that we talked about, and it's not even a bad thing because I think Saban thinks the same way. It just annoys me as like a normal human when they said, "Are you disappointed to fall short of your goal of winning the Big 12?" And his answer was, "That's not a goal in this program. Our goal is to be the best version of ourselves every day and be the most together team in in the history of college football."
Goodness.
It's like, okay, I get it. It's like it's our team creed. We got to be the best version of ourselves and nothing more. But it's okay to say you want to win the league. Like that's okay. I don't think you're gonna ruin everything if you say we'd like to win our conference.
Yeah.
But and that just kind of shows the kind of way he's wired, and it's very Saban-esque in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really point to too many times where I've seen guys sign big extensions for being together or, having the best. But hey, I think, like I told you last night, if you have some championships, people will back a lot of the, quirky things that you say and kind of unorthodox approach, Phil Jackson, putting the sage in the locker room and all this stuff. You win some championships, like you can do what you want. And I don't think Campbell's there yet. So I think you got to win the Big 12, maybe get to a college football playoff. And then all these things that you believe in, it's a lot easier for guys to tie in and to follow you and really, let you be a leader.
Last Son of Odin says Campbell also doesn't like recruiting 5-stars. I have not seen a quote that indicates that. It wouldn't surprise me if someone who had been at Toledo and Iowa State made a comment like, hey, we don't want guys who are entitled coming in here and we want to get guys who – that's all well and dandy if you want to do that at Iowa State. If there was some kind of issue where we don't want to recruit the top players in the country – I'm thinking probably not a great fit to come here.
No, that is the last thing I want to hear when Kirby's just tripling down on his 5-stars every year, when Nick just, he never runs out of 5-star. Then you see what freaking Jimbo's doing at A&M now. You better get down there and recruit some 5-stars. So, no, I do not like hearing any bit of that. I don't care how maybe untrue it may be. Like, whatever coach comes down, bring 5-stars, please.
All right, so the question is, and this is obviously we live in hypothetical world now, do you think this is a realistic candidate for the LSU job?
If you say realistic means a guy that's possibly in the top 10, then yes. If you say realistically as in a guy that's probably in the top 3 or top 5, I would say no.
I would tend to agree with that. Again, we don't know anything. I think what we made very clear yesterday in our conversations about this is that we have both put out some feelers and talked to some people that may have some information. Mm-hmm. And every time we do that, the well runs dry. And my indication that I said yesterday, and again, this is a total guess based on tea leaves, is that this thing is done. Yeah. That's my guess. I believe that Scott Woodward has made a decision. Again, I want to be very clear. I do work for LSU. I have phone numbers of people over there at LSU. I don't know anything. No one has told me anything. But the fact that no one knows anything or nothing's being ruffled, that tells me to guess that it's done.
Yeah, I would agree too, because a guy out there that I thought would possibly have an offer, I don't think he has an offer. I'm not going to go out there and say it on the air right now, but there are some, let's say there's some coaches out there that people feel really good about and they don't have offers. So, I mean, that could be one of two things to me. I like I said at the game, my boy Scott, man, got a little jump in his step now, man. I don't know.
I got a couple of phone calls about that yesterday when you said that. I was like, look, I don't think he's lying on the air. I also don't think he winked at him and said, no, he just seemed like he had a nice disposition about him on Saturday.
Yes, that's all I'm going to say. Look, Scott was feeling good, man. I don't know if he had a beer or two or not, but look, man, Scott was feeling good, man. He had a little hop in his step at the game. That lets me know. And look, we got a 5-6 football team right now. There's not much to be cheery about.